Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Okay, so today I want to take a look at World Scales, the app by Kevlar, which came out ages ago. I can't say enough good things about this app. It was never my intention to do a demo for this, I just like playing with it. But it is such a brilliant app, and I tried to contact the developer the other day and got no reply asking me if he was going to do AUDIOBUS, blah blah. But he hasn't got back to me, so I don't know. But I know he does. He makes other stuff, expansion boards for Kronos and stuff like that. So he's probably fairly busy. He's probably, I don't know if he's forgotten about the app. But it is an incredibly useful and brilliant app. Okay, so, and it has the best samples, some of the best samples. Use these samples in AUDIOBUS, it would just be bliss. All right, so what it is, it will teach you about scales. And at the moment we're set in equal temperament. I've got this playing with a little micro key to make things easier for me. But that is the grand piano setting, which is lovely. It's great samples. But the point is here, we are equal temperament. So you can see our scaling across here on our keyboard here, which is, we've got our markers on. Now if I hit this here, we can do our own scales, but I'll show you. So we're in Western scales at the moment, and we're in equal temperament, and there's some information about the scales and stuff and where they come from. So if we, for instance, go to, say, the blues, now I don't know if you can see, but the blues scale is now marked with little keys. So you've got like this. So there's your blues scale sort of thing. So you can learn about this. So you've got the minor pentatonic scales. So we've got a C there. Which is very similar to what we've just played. Now, the cool thing is here, if we forget the Western scales for a moment, and they go down, we'll go back to scales. Okay, so if we go to ancient, now these are the ancient scales. Now some of them look similar, but they're going to be different. So Pythagorean here. Now if we've noticed here, we've started to get microtonal changes into the keys. So they're going to be slightly different. For an example, I'll see this. We'll take this F here. So you've got you can set microtonal changes for every single key, and then you could save as your own scale. But the thing is, you can see now, if you look down, how in the olden days, back in the day, all the tones were slightly changed, so not all scales were created equal, if you like. But the real cool stuff here, if we go back, we can go to the Byzantine, and we can have 53, and we can have. You can see sort of massive changes now, and they've all got the original names. So the massive changes will be here. See? So if you ever wonder, sometimes it's very difficult if you're trying to do something maybe with Eastern flavour, it doesn't quite sound right, This is why, because the tuning was slightly different for each key, microtonal changes, and it was impossible to get playing Western equal temperament scales. Now, the samples are some of the best. So we'll leave it on the Zygos scale. The samples are some of the best samples I've ever heard in an app. I'm absolutely serious. So you have violin. See, now I'm also just playing the white notes there, but you see it starts to feel like different, like you hear. So let's just change that scale slightly to this one. And we'll change the sound. Okay, so we'll accordion, sorry. I want to run through the 70s organ. Now that's with the little micro key. I can use the pitch bend and modulation. Now, obviously, you wouldn't want to play that. You play that in equal temperament Western scaling. So, guitars and bass. I've used this to record a couple of things, but I've used hardware gear, so I've just basically used it like a synth. Saxophone. The samples get better and better. There's trumpets. You got to admit the samples are great. Live brass is cool. If we just put this back into, let's have a look at some of the scales here. The Oriental scales. Here you can see again the different microtonal changes that's been applied, and the brass is just incredible. Whoa, it's loud. You can get the idea of how. So now here we go into the choirs. This is Byzantine Choir 1. This is fabulous. And of course, you know, you can then start to set up your scales to suit the instruments. So he's given you all the instruments you need to try the different scales. Now, Byzantine Choir 3 is an SEM choir. This is one of the absolute best choir voices I've ever heard. How cool is that? For anybody who wants to sample this, I'm going to play a C. Okay, so I'm going to play it now and just leave it sustaining for a few seconds. And I'm going to play an octave above. Because I think that sounds so cool. So now we get into the really cool stuff. So we're in Arab strings. And let's go into Turkish here. And let's see. The Rast scale. If we change our scale again, let's see. No, that's pretty straightforward. And these are straightforward. Now, I think the best one to do with these would be some of the, maybe the ancients. And Arab strings 2. Mega. Loud strings. Okay, now we get some nice, really, let's just, I think, go to some of the Byzantine scales, which are lovely jabbly. Okay, so this is a canon, which whatever that is. Ah, it's like that. Okay, so. beautiful. And electric bouzouki. I'll have to just, let's see what we've got. And then there's some synthesizers which aren't that great actually. This synth stuff. So you have a couple of things synthesized, and another cool thing here as well, also that we actually. So that's just one note. So we have some Arabic percussion to play with, which is good. So we have 3 or 4 of these. And of course, we can change our root keys here. We can transpose up and down when we're using this, and we have a tuning value here. This little section here, we have some reverb and a compressor, and we have reverb settings and compressor settings here. In tools, we can switch our MIDI on. We can do network MIDI as well if we want. And with the keyboard, we can set the pitch bend. So if we switch pitch bend on, we'll get a thing there, and key labels and stuff like that, and overtones, which I'm not quite sure are. But there you go, guys. World Scales by Kevlar. It's brilliant anyway, but the sounds are amazing. And to learn about scales and how different scales were formed in different parts of the world and stuff, it's incredible. It costs a lot of money with a keyboard, hardware keyboard, to do microtonal changes for each key. Most of them won't. They'll just copy as well also the equal temperament variations of the old ancient scales. But there you go. This is fantastic. So you can add your own scales, and you can delete scales if you want to. All right, guys. I'll see you later.